Hello and welcome to a product review video done for gunreviewwebsite.com. Today we're going to be talking about the Streamlight family of tactical lights for mounting on various firearms. First one we're going to start with is the basic old TLR-1 here. Fantastic light, very heavily built. It's all metal. They don't use plastic for anything other than, the little tail caps, which are pretty much damn near indestructible, and the inserts internally here. The rest of the body of the light is all metal, I believe aluminum, and like I said, they're built like tanks. They mount on the gun using your standard 1913 rail. Depending on your gun, they have inserts that fit for Glocks, the Picatinny system, Beretta, etc. And they all use what I like to call a coin screw or thumb screw. That allows you to either shove your fingernail in there or use a quarter or dime to tighten it down or remove it off the weapon. The tail caps on them have the switch mechanism, which is either a constant on or a momentary, and they can be operated from either side of the weapon with, either your trigger finger, your support hand, or in the case of if you mount the remote pressure switch on, you can then have the switch mounted anywhere in the weapon you'd like. Like I said, the first one is the TLR-1 here, and it's the basic one. It'll go on anything, rifles, pistols, shotguns, etc. They're not recoil sensitive. I mean, I've got one that I've got mounted on a 12 gauge. I've switched it from a 12 gauge to a 30-06 to a AK. And I've never yet had one have any kind of problems from recoil or being dropped, etc. The next one we're going to cover is the HL. What this one is the same light that you're looking at before, but twice the brightness. I keep this one mounted on a shotgun. I can walk out my back door and it lights up a roughly 500 or 600 square foot area like that. I don't need to carry any other lights on me, and I can see everything that goes on in my yard with one flick. Next one that we're going to cover is the TLR-2 here. If you see this giant module here on the bottom, what that is a laser emitter. You also have the option of this one with the light and laser, just the light, or just the laser. This is obviously designed more so for a pistol than a handgun, because with how far you have this sticking out from the side of the weapon, or from the side of the light, you're going to be further and further off the farther away you get from the laser module, to where it only really makes sense to have it zeroed in at, say, the longest hallway in your home, or across your backyard, to where then you don't have to have the firearm necessarily pointed, aiming down the sights, and still have a general idea of where that round is going to go when you touch it off. The other one we're going to cover is one of their newer products, the HP here. This one is designed for mounting on long guns, rifles, shotguns, etc. The difference you'll see when I turn it on is that center corona of light is designed to reach out further. I get anywhere from 200 to 300 yards of actual usable light distance wise, where I can identify my targets that far out without worrying about what I'm shooting at. These ones do ship from the factory with the remote pressure switch kit, and what that is it just replaces your standard tail cap with the remote switch, which also gives you your standard on-off switch as well. So if you choose not to use the remote kit or just don't like it, you still have the option of using the standard constant on light, or constant on switch. Of these lights, my two favorites are the HP, precisely because of the distance you get out of it, and the HL, because of the just blinding amount of light that comes out of these. Additionally, these newer ones, most of them have what we call a strobe feature, which is self-explanatory. What that is, if you hit your momentary on twice quickly, it activates the strobe feature. It's usable in tactical situations to disorient your attacker, because human eyes, with the strobing feature, or with the strobing going on, can't differentiate how quickly something is moving towards them or away from them. It's useful to disorient an attacker. Personally, I don't find the strobe to be that useful. I just think, and from personal experience, having this blinding light put into your eyes is more than enough to disorient most people and make them basically choose to go somewhere else. If that doesn't work, the weapon that it's usually attached to will do the trick. The other one is obviously the HP. I like this one with the, like I said, for the distance that we get out of it, and it's also very nice because, again, with that spot of light, it gives you the option at closer ranges, if you had it mounted on, say, a shotgun, to kind of guesstimate where your round is going to go, just based on being roughly in the center of that bright white light. Like I said, being designed for mounting on a long gun, it does have a slight cant to the body to kick you more back towards your bore sight because of how far it ends up mounted off the side of the light with that large angle there. The other thing with this one is it does not mount on certain designs because of the size of that. You don't have sufficient space on your rails unless you can mount it at the very front, and there's a significant drop back in on the weapon. Mine is this one usually lives on an AK platform that doesn't have that problem. Some AR platform rifles may have that issue. I don't know if I covered this yet, but Streamlight has a 100% lifetime warranty on all their products. Does not matter if you're the original purchaser, Streamlight covers it. All you do is pay for the return shipping, or not the return shipping, excuse me. You pay for the shipping to the factory. Streamlight covers everything else. They will send you back either a brand new light or yours with all the guts replaced. I personally don't use any other product on my weapons other than Streamlight. Your mileage may vary, but I have never been less than satisfied with their product.